Okay. First of all, it ain't a party till we get it started, y'all. T-Shirt Academy graduates, make some noise. I love graduations. It's one of my favorite things to celebrate, and I am so proud and honored to have this opportunity to speak to you guys today because I have a very important message that I want to sow into you as you get ready to embark on this next part of your life, okay? Y'all ready? All right, let's go to church. When I was younger, I knew I could run. I knew from a very young age I was fast. If I didn't like running, who does? It's tired, it's hot outside, why would you want to do it? I was more of an indoor sports kid. I like basketball, so I was a basketball kid. My dreams and goals were nowhere near going to the Olympics or doing anything related to that. I was basically setting myself up and aligning myself to attend college to play basketball. That's what I wanted to do. And in doing that, it was inevitable and undeniable that I was fast. Every time anybody saw me run, they said, "Oh, girl, you need to run track." I said, "Oh, I don't like track, I do basketball." And they say, "But you're fast." I said, "I know, I'm fast on the basketball court." And finally, I literally heard it so many times, you guys, that I literally had to say, "Okay, I'll run in high school. Just give me a minute. Goodness gracious, get my head wrapped around it." So I ran in high school, and I was very good. I was state champion here in Georgia. And it wasn't something that I loved, though. It was just still something I did. But one day I was sitting out at Panthersville Stadium, which is a few minutes from where I live, and I made a promise to God. Because somehow it became clear to me, I was like, why am I fast? It's like, why do I have this gift? Why do I have this talent? I said, well, God gave it to me for a reason, so I better not waste it. I said, let me go ahead and see what I can do. And I made a promise to God. I said, I will run until I cannot run anymore. I made that promise when I was 17 years old. I will run until I cannot run anymore. Now, I don't know why I said that, because it took me 15 years to stop running. But I made that promise, and it was the best decision I ever made. Using my gift of running has given me many things. It has been a true blessing. I've traveled to 68 different international cities and 46 different international countries. That doesn't even include anywhere in the U.S., and I've been all over the U.S. And let me tell y'all the kicker. I didn't pay for but 2 of those trips. Also paid for me to have a full scholarship to the University of Tennessee, when my mom did not have the money to provide for out-of-state tuition. We didn't have it like that. The other gift that running has given me is I signed a 5-year contract when I was 20 years old with Adidas. 6-figure deal. It's running, using my gift. I became the first female athlete at the University of Tennessee to turn professional before completing 4 years of eligibility. They didn't even know what to do with me, y'all. They put me in a press conference with the football players. I was like, hello, hi, yes, I'm not returning to school, thank you. For sports, thank you. But I sure as heck made Adidas pay for that last year of college. Won't it do it? That gift of running gave me an opportunity to be the first person in my family to finish 4-year college. Wow. I became the first, not only female athlete, but even out of the male athletes, I became the first athlete at the University of Tennessee to turn professional early and still get their degree on time. Just because something didn't come before you doesn't mean that it can't start with you. Don't be afraid to break the chains of the past to start a new beginning. Be the reason that the future that comes after you is climbing higher and going farther. Don't be afraid to set a new bar. I don't care if nobody's done it before you. Be the first to do it. Moreover, the gift of running has most importantly taught me so much about life. For the years that I ran, I may have lost more races than I won, but I learned 7, and I'm sure there's more, but 7 very important things stand out to me. 7 is a powerful number. 1, loss is inevitable. If you guys think that you're going to go through life without ever losing, I got news for you today. It's not going to happen. Loss is something that's a part of life. Loss is a part of life. There's no escaping it. So when it happens, you need to know that when you come out on the other side, and notice I said when you come out on the other side, you will have been made stronger and you will have been made wiser. 2, don't fear failure, because if you are too afraid to try, you have already failed. You may not realize it at the time. You may think because you didn't try it and you didn't feel the failure that somehow you've escaped failure. But I got news for you. One day you'll wake up, and it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, maybe 30 years from now, you'll wake up and you'll be experiencing something called regret. Now see, failure only lasts a short time. Regret can last you a lifetime. I take the odds on trying to fail and get back up and try again. Okay. This is number 4, by the way. In 2008, I had a knee injury that required surgery, which had a 90% failure rate of me being able to come back and compete the way that I used to. Despite the injury, I made the 2008 Olympic team with a hole in my femur bone, you guys. This injury was supposed to end my career. But against all odds, I made the Olympic team, and that's when I learned you don't have to have everything physically working properly or at 100% capacity to overcome many things when you can use your mental strength. Mental strength is very powerful. It can help you get through many obstacles, and I don't know why it took me so long to realize that. If you ever look at any Paralympians, they are proof of every day that you don't have to have it physically all together to be able to succeed at what you try to do. Mental strength is very powerful. Number 5, I learned that there are powerful forces all around us, and we have access to them every day. Pressure is positive power. Confidence is positive power. Positivity is positive power. And belief is positive power. And progress is positive power. We have access to these things every day. Make sure you're using them even when they seem like they're uncomfortable. Let that be motivation to you. Number 6, one of the most important lessons I learned is that you cannot always control the outcome of what you're trying to do, but you can control your output. What you put out is in your control. Always give your best no matter the outcome, and you will never be disappointed with yourself. In 2012, coming back from the knee surgery that was supposed to end my career, I struggled for 3 years, y'all. I failed. I lost every race I ran for 3 years after the knee surgery. People told me I should retire. They said you should hang it up, you should quit. It's over. DeeDee Trotter, who, it's a wrap. That surgery is done her and she's finished. But something in me kept telling me, don't you give up. Don't you quit. I kept telling myself, I can, I must, I will. You guys say it, I can. Oh, that was good. I never had nobody relay the whole thing back. Ooh, y'all look sharp. Repeat after me, I can, I must, I will. I don't believe y'all yet. Say it again with some passion. I can, I must, I will. Remember that, because it can help you get through some really difficult times in your life when you think you might be giving up on yourself. Say, I can, I must, I will. That became the focus and the center point of my life as the words encouraged me. And I also said these very important words: I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Now that was the last thing I said before I took off on the starting line in the 2012 Olympic Games in the 400-meter finals, where they said I would never be. They said I would never run that fast again. That after that surgery it was impossible to come back and run anything like I used to. But in the 2012 Olympic Games, I went in to get the gold, y'all. I ran as hard as I could. I gave everything I had. And the last thing I uttered, I promise you can go YouTube it today, the last thing the camera saw my mouth say is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Sometimes you got to speak over yourself. Speak over the negativity and the voices and the chaos and remind yourself what you're capable of. So I went out to that race. I ran a time of 49.72 for the one lap around the track. Now, 49.72 was not my fastest time of my career. 49.64 was. But if you ask me, 49.64 and 49.72 is pretty close. So that's kind of running like I used to. So I broke down those barriers and broke down those odds. So when I think about the bronze medal that I obtained in the 2012 Olympic Games, when most people would have said I shouldn't even be there, I always remember that this taught me the true definition. This medal taught me the true definition of a champion, because I always thought it was the person who crossed the finish line first. But I realized by that definition, we're a world full of losers. So that can't be true. I realized that the definition of a champion is a person that will never give up, who will keep fighting, no matter how hard the road may get, who will keep pushing, no matter how many people tell them that they can't, or that they won't, that they'll never. Is the person that says, I can, I must, I will, and keeps fighting no matter how difficult the situation may seem. That's the definition of a champion. And that's why when I cross the finish line in third, I will never feel disappointment. I'm extremely proud of myself. And this medal is all about perspective, because it's simply a different shade of gold. Last but not least, I learned that life may be a little rough with you along the way. I would love to tell you that when you go through life, there's going to be daisies and cotton balls patting you from everything that can hurt you throughout life. And the struggle is just going to be, whew, yeah, right, you're just going to breeze through. Let me show y'all something real quick. Look at this box. What you think? It's terrible, right? My goodness, it's beat down, it's broken, looks like it's been kicked a little bit, dropped. Life really did a number on this box, wouldn't you agree? Oh my goodness. Sometimes that's really how it is. You go through and you maybe on the outside get a little beat up. Life will kind of throw you a few hard balls, but at the end of the day, it's not really about what's on the outside, because on the inside is gold. On the inside of each and every one of you lies the potential of gold. The potential inside you and what you're capable of will always be golden. Don't let the outside of what happens to life do to you take away the very most important thing is what's inside of you and what's in your heart. God has blessed each and every one of you with great gifts and talents. You must find them by trying different things. Smart things. Good choice things. And you must never let them go to waste once you find them. I believe that when you use your gifts, it's like using a superpower. Go out into this world. Be super. Be fearless. Be honorable. And be champions at everything you do. And that's what's going to help you get to your gold medal moments in your life. Congratulations, class of 2019. Y'all did it.